there's a joke among Filipinos where we say that our conversation starts at yelling and then it just goes up in volume from there. So, so we're very loud individuals.
Uh-huh.
And so whenever I am angry and I yell, I project the room. Well, that doesn't work for someone who doesn't understand.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, well, I have to change. Well, here's the other part to this. Every one of my triggers as a parent that was given to me by someone or another were all the things that he does.
Mm-hmm.
Don't talk back. What does he do? Don't hit, don't spit, don't throw, don't yell, don't scratch, don't da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. And when he gets unconscious, he does all those things. And what happens to me? I react by saying, you're not supposed to do any of these things. And so throughout this process of the pandemic, I'm getting a crash course of evolution of self.
Mm-hmm.
And I am now trying to figure out how to communicate with a child that doesn't respond to any of my communication. I now have to be extremely mindful of my emotional state, my words, my tone, my look, even my energy. You know how it's like you can feel the tension in the room? He can feel it in another room. So it's like if I have a bad day at work, I really need to work that out before I step into the house because he'll feel it. And so, again, my son's my greatest teacher. I had to learn by trial by fire. It was just this knowing thyself, and every single day, what can I do for myself so that I can do for him? And this is actually the basis of why I got back into coaching. Because this whole premise of putting on your mask before you can help someone put on theirs is the foundation of my message in terms of parenting.
Yeah.
I would not be able to take care of my son or be able to raise him and teach him and guide him had I not taken care of myself first. Yeah. It's impossible. I'm sorry. It's not possible for me. So there was this come to Jesus moment where it's sort of like, well, I'm overweight. I don't work out. I'm not eating very well. I don't sleep very much. I don't do drugs and I don't drink, but like my vices have become eating and just binge watching TV all day because there's nothing else to do. And so slowly but surely, I started taking care of my health. I ended up finding jiu-jitsu of all things. And it's like, oh my goodness, here's this place where I can put all my force, aggression on another human being. And at this moment, I can't hurt them. Uh-huh. And that became my therapy. I go in, I put all of my strength on somebody half my size, and they would just fold the clothes that I'm wearing with me in them. Uh-huh. And it's like, and I got my release. And sure enough, the aggression, the anger, the angst, the anxiety, all that stuff is out. I now see my son, he tantrums, and I'm like, hey, buddy, what's up?
Yeah.
Oh, you're having a bad day? All right, come on. And so that's how I was able to communicate better, to be able to be more conscious as a parent. I had to take care of myself first in order for me to take care of my kids.
Yeah. And it makes loads of sense. And you're like the fifth person that one of the few that said it on the podcast, but I keep getting told I need to do a better job of taking care of myself. It's going to help me out a ton and where I'm at. But I always get so focused on all the other stuff that I got going on and being a dad and all this and doing all that and here and there and everywhere. And man, it's exhausting. But I do notice for sure, like I haven't been back to the gym. My back has been completely killing me for the last couple of weeks, and I haven't been back to working out. My coach at the gym sent me a message like yesterday or the day before, like, "Hey man, haven't seen you in a little bit. Where are you at?" And I was like, I was planning to go back to the gym. I think it was yesterday's when they sent me the message. My intent was to go back, but I could barely get out of bed in the morning. I was like, oh, my back is still killing me. I'm like, what the heck? But that would help even explain, even this morning, with my inability to communicate well as I was talking about earlier. Like, I do so much better when I get my good workout in the morning. I'm feeling good. I get that stress release out. I'm feeling better about it. it just makes everything better by taking care of yourself. And that's just the fitness side. Does it include like the mental side of it? It's like then you're able to take care of yourself better mentally when you're in better shape and you're physically fit. You're doing all the stuff. So I love that you're looking at that and that you realize that through the last couple of years. It's a difficult thing to maintain, especially when you're running a business and you're doing all the other stuff. So, what do you? I want to switch to the business a little bit. Speaking of that, so you're running business stuff, um, and you're trying to be a dad at the same time. How has what you've been learning about, like we've talked about all the stuff you're learning about as a dad, what of that have you been also applying on your business side of the house? Obviously, starting the coaching back up again, like that's one big thing. But as far as like tactics and procedures that you're doing inside of your business that are similar that you've kind of modeled after being a dad.
Okay, this is not a shameless plug-in because you asked the question. But I actually wrote a book on this. Uh-huh. So, in essence, if anyone cares, it's called Parenting a Business. If you can raise a child, you can run a business. Find it on Amazon. Enjoy. And it's nothing more than how to start a business using parenting terms. Mm-hmm. Okay. And what ended up happening, so again, started my first business when I was 19. Didn't actually create a successful business until after I became a dad. Mm-hmm. How does that work? Well, my son comes into the world. I just start my photography business, and everything that I had accumulated in terms of knowledge for business development, I applied to parenting, from operation systems, aka diaper bags and routines, budgeting, time allocation, and time management. I started doing that more as a dad. Mm-hmm. And how you do anything is how you do everything. As I started doing it more effectively as a dad, I started doing it more effectively as a business owner. And so I talk about how if you can get your 5-year-old, and I use that age very specifically, if you can get your 5-year-old to listen to you on a semi-weekly basis, you graduated from Business Negotiations 101. Yeah. Because if you can get someone who has more leverage on you than any client will, then you can convince a client to buy your product or service. Bottom line. It's stuff like that. Like, again, the secret to scaling your business is your diaper bag. Why? It's operation systems. Why? Because when you're a first-time parent, you bring six bags that has the kitchen sink, 10 forms of formula, 15 diapers, 20, wipes, and a partridge in a pear tree. And then over time, you start predicting what's going to happen, and then you just go in with the smallest of bags because you know what's going to happen. That's operation systems. So the correlation between parenting and business is infinite. And even business owners will say, this is my baby, this is my child. Well, it acts the same way. How do you, as you teach a child to grow up, to be 18 years old and grow up on their own and have them be a positive role model in society and exist in society, so can you create a culture within your business so the business can work without you. Like, there are all these parallels between parenting and entrepreneurship, if you choose to. And so how did I do it? How did I parallel the two? I did it with everything from time management to how I communicate to how I sell. Well, Jeremy, I can't negotiate with my clients the way I do with my kid, because with my kid, I bribe them with cookies and iPad time and going out to the park. I'm like, oh, okay. So you don't bribe your clients by having a buy one, get one free. We will pay the shipping and sales tax and things that matter to them. Oh, I never thought about that. Yeah. So treat your clients like your kids. What are they motivated by? Give it to them as an incentive and watch how they buy.